Last case of emotions. Watching the world pass us by. Yeah. WandaVision.
May contain spoilers or shit you don't agree with, but personally, we don't give a fuck.
Yo, I just want to say that before we even get into the proceedings this season, that this podcast is already legendary just because we have that theme song. Like, I just want everybody to understand what's going on here.
I need you to understand that the first thing that came to my mind when you said glass case of emotion was dun, 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 glass case of emotions. I was like, I don't know where it's coming from, but it's happening. And then
it makes sense.
It does. It's actually
it makes all the sense in the world.
Thank you.
But there's absolutely no reason why you should have written Butterflies, Say Yes, and this theme song. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
It's called Range.
The range.
The range.
The range.
The range. And here we are. Jason, we've been talking about movies and TV shows and music for most of our friendship.
For a very long time now. For a very, very long time now. First and foremost, we appreciate each and everybody that is here right now, that is listening right now, that has tuned in. This is the very first, numero uno, the premiere episode of this is the premiere episode of Glass Case of Emotion. I am Ja.
I'm Marsha. See, I had to do like a little undertone music.
Marsha's obsessed.
It. And I'm Marsha Ambrosius. Yes.
She is Marsha Ambrosius. And we are here. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are, whoever you are, wherever you are. We appreciate you pulling up, kicking it with us for a little bit.
Absolutely.
We're pretty sure that all of y'all who are listening to this are just as obsessed with WandaVision as we are. And it's funny because like the whole reason we're even doing this in the first place is because like Marsha and I are into this kind of thing. So like we were watching the show and it just got to the point where, you know, the tension in the first episode was like there was a little bit of tension, and every episode it gets a little bit more tense and you have like a little bit more questions. And by the time we got to episode 6, it was just way too much going on.
That was my breaking point. Now, I'm on the West Coast, Jazz on the East Coast. So the time, that 3-hour difference is sketchy when you're premiering something at midnight on that day. So
very sketchy.
He saw it before I did. So I was like, I'm going to call you when I see it. So there's about, 5 minutes to go? And I'm watching it. And I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. So I'm snapping because I'm like, okay, this is getting too much. It's too intense, because whoever's invested into it the way we are, WandaVision, as beautifully shot as it is, the music, absolutely excellent. It's tragic. It's heartbreaking to see Wanda,
a tragic story.
So much bloody pain that she has to, she's killed everybody. They're all possessed. They're all dead because she's grieving such a loss. And my heart as a mother and a wife.
It's pretty tough to watch. She's verklempt. She's verklempt, ladies and gentlemen.
Listen here, I couldn't handle it. So I was like, you know what, Ja? Let's go from the beginning. Let's go from episode 1 to where we're at now, because I know there's other people out there that need help, like I did. And I do. And
we're a community. We are establishing a community. If you need to laugh, you need to cry, you need to commiserate with some other folks.
Yeah.
We're going through the same thing that you are, which is not so different than how Wanda has the people in Westview going through the same thing.
We're losing our minds.
Like, we as the audience and the people in the show are grieving in a similar kind of way, right?
Exactly. Exactly. And we want you to know that too.
And we want you to know that. We want you to know
by yourself. Yes.
Yeah. Our hearts are here with you.
Yeah. So episode 1.
Episode 1. We're gonna start from here. Episode.
No, not even episode 1. The trailer leading up to this premiere, I was flabbergasted. The trailer. So I'm watching it, And the expectancy on my level was because I'm well aware of the nostalgia it was giving. It was giving me Bewitched. It was giving me Lost in Space a little bit. It was giving me
a little Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah, Dick Van Dyke. Like, I was showing my age a little bit, tiny bit, because I understood where it was going, what it was doing, but I couldn't even grasp why it was happening. And once I peeped, I was heartbroken, but it was beautiful. It's beautiful to watch, from the theme songs to their interactions, and not knowing that it's actually fiction that she's building just to spend time with someone who's already passed. And I'm like, why am I watching this? Like, these are my family. I shouldn't really be grieving like this. This is ridiculous. It was like, okay, conspiracy theory.
Okay,
as
here we
soon
go.
as you
so
saw
started
it,
early
right? We have to.
Right,
because this is episode 1 on where you thought it was gonna go. I was like, it's all fake. It's all a set. But I had no idea that it was her controlling it until like into it, and then I realized, okay, if that's the case, well, why? And if that's the case, and she has enough power to generate a very real scenario and town folk and a life and kids, Jesus, it just kept going. So I was like, the levels are, if you've created that bubble and he's able to exist right there, vision this is, that means everything's able to exist. You can bring back the dead. You could bring back anything to that space because it's real
inside
when you're
here.
in there.
Right. Yeah.
You get hurt when you're in there. You have feelings when you're in there. Yes, possessed by Wanda, of course, but you're still that person until ultimately, with Tiana Paris' character, which kicked her the fuck out. Like,
straight out.
Because she knew. And it was that, I can't handle someone being able to understand this right now. Just let me rock out. And she kicked her the fuck out. It was wonderful. It was horrible. It was fucking great.
You can tell how excited Marsha is because like we started
Sorry.
talking about episode 1 and she like ran the whole entire season to this point. Okay, so hold on. So let's go back here though. So a lot of people, I think the way you're saying though about the trailer is how a lot of people felt. Like, you know, I don't know, maybe everyone's favorite character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe wasn't Wanda or Vision, but when this trailer came out and you knew that Disney Plus was launching these Marvel shows, it was like, I don't care who it is. I just give me the content. Give me the content.
Exactly.
So we see what's going on in these first couple of episodes. They're black and white. They are 50s and 60s era sitcoms. So even though I didn't have a problem with it, because the truth is I'm not that much younger than you are. So like I was watching and Nick at Night, I was watching all of Toby Gillis and like what's the show? It was like they were twins, but they were cousins. I can't remember what the name of the show was.
Like I can see it now. Can't.
It was old,
but I'm talking like my dad let me watch Abbott and Costello when I was a kid.
Okay, yeah.
We used to watch Frankenstein and the Wolfman. That was like our favorite thing when we were kids that my dad would let us watch. So I'm not saying that old, I'm 40 plus, but I understood the throwback. So for all of these,
I did too.
I get it because we're going, the Avengers generation of now. They didn't go back that far.
Nah. And then we're taking them all the way to a place of like, you don't even understand.
Yeah, you don't even know what this is. But I feel like that was a great thing.
It was an amazing
because it opened a door to those feelings. It was like, Mom, what's this? Why are you on this? Because I understand it.
Yeah,
and it's kind of bringing this new generation of an older generation that actually gets it now. So,
and it wasn't just a parody. Like it felt like those first 2 episodes were really like an homage to that time.
They took it there.
They took it there in all the aspects: the comedy, the physical comedy, the
manner
of speaking, the writing, the dialogue. Like they nailed it. Like, if the show was just that, I would be like,
okay,
this is. They did a pretty good job. Like this is a cool show. Like they nailed the cadence and all of that.
Yeah.
But episode 1. So I went back and I watched. I didn't watch all 6 episodes that we're at right now. Matter of fact, if you're listening to this, this is the week before. This is the week leading up to episode 7. So we're now in real time. We are in the 3rd act, the 3rd and final act of this show.
Oh, I can't handle the way. Before I was okay. I could get to Wednesday and I'd be all right, but I'm getting a little antsy.
Now it's bad.
Now that I know it's all bad. He got to that border and started to fall apart.
It was tough
and
to
I
watch.
couldn't handle it. I was like, it's almost like you have to mourn him again. And because of how you've built his life back up for him now, you have to deal with this death again. And if she's dealing with his death like this the first time, what's she going to do the next time? Wanda, listen here. babes. Wanda.
Talk to her. Talk to her.
I feel you. I absolutely feel you, but this is bad.
Can't be this way.
You can't do it like this because you've got to grieve more than just his death now. You've got to understand what you did and what lengths you took to ruin other people's lives to get him back. That is horrible.
Yeah, like this show is like the opposite of Mandalorian, right? Like in the Mandalorian,
exactly.
This is the way, and it's like WandaVision is that this is not the way.
This
like
is absolutely how
you can't carry on like this, bro.
You don't deal with death like this, babes. But I feel like the last episode, I know we're skipping a lot, but this is why we're here.
This is what we do.
Handle.
it's very emotionally draining,
and we've got some ways to go. So I feel like once it turned into I'm extending this grief to the point where it became a circus and now you're clowns and they're driving, trying to outrun the shit, looking back like, Wanda, please stop. It's a friggin' used car dealership. Is it a friggin' toll booth now? Where are we taking this? To the ocean?
Yeah, because how far does it go?
How far do you go? And I'm trying to figure out now what would be her breaking point. Is it the kids? Because that innocence and purity of her not being able to control the kids' powers is blowing her mind. So now she's like, okay, maybe I took this too far. Maybe I've absolutely taken this too far. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do episode 7 by myself. Yeah.
Well, it's going to be interesting. For everyone that's watching and listening, we are going to have live reactions for episode 7 on our Patreon. If you want to subscribe to our Patreon, just patreon.com glasscase crew, glasscase crew, patreon.com/glasscase crew. Go on there, sign up for a Patreon. We'll have some cool stuff for you. We're gonna figure all of that out. We're gonna get around to what the little goodies that y'all are gonna get for subscribing. But in the meantime, between time,
I'll probably be crying. I'll be crying somewhere.
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna get tears out of you for sure.
I know, but I feel like whatever this next theme song is gonna do me in.
Yeah,
I feel like that's what's gonna get me.
It's getting difficult. Like now that we're past, because the last episode was kind of like the early 2000s. I feel like they kind of 90s, 2000s.
Yeah, it became what was it? Was it like a MTV celebrity death match and with the
claymation and all that
yeah.
kind of stuff. Yeah, so they kind of took some of the 90s and 2000s with like the Malcolm in the Middle style, even Steven style, and they kind of put all that together. But whatever this next episode is, I feel like there's a couple of things that have to happen, right? At some point in one of these next 3 episodes, there's going to have to be a flashback. Yeah. Because even though they've answered some questions, like there's still a lot of questions and a lot of stuff that's just been put out there. How did we get here? Yeah. How did we get here in the first place? How did Wanda know that Vision's body was at Sword to even break in to go get it in the first place? She got there. Did she realize that, you see an episode, was that 4 when they're dissecting him or whatever? He's already
taken right, it's done.
So is she like, okay, I can't, he's not going to be what he is, but I can take these pieces and like, we need to see the process of her putting Vision together again. So
as fictitious, right, we'll have to go back, but as fictitious as everything is that you just said, all I could think about from a mother and wife standpoint is I do whatever it took. with my superhuman strength, I would do whatever it took to embrace again, to love again. So her being an actual superhero with powers, you're like, how far would you take it if you knew that you had ability to do
Listen,
that? You know?
for as long as I've known you, I can 1,000% attest to the fact that you would for sure break into a medical lab and put your husband and child back together again. And like, I can 1,000,000% seeing you being Wanda Maximoff and like, I'm gonna like, no, we're gonna have this again. If I can do it, well, we're gonna do this.
We're gonna do it again, but
we're gonna do this again.
It's at what cost? And grief is a mother.
Yeah, it hurt people.
And which is, I absolutely understand. And at the same time, I'm going to be heartbroken for her, because what we did discuss the other day, I think it was in episode 5, and it was Wanda she was one of the bad guys.
Oh yeah, she went full villain at that point.
Wanda
when she came out of the hex and was like, "Yo, listen, this is yours. Like, throw him the drone. Like, so check it out, right? Like, y'all gonna chill. I'm gonna go back and do my thing. And so you know it's real. I'm gonna have
Wanda's nothing to fuck with.
No. She came like real G Unit, like real like,
like nothing to fuck with
on the set, like
rep your set, cause
no, she's not.
I don't want it with Wanda. At the same time, as much as I feel her and I'm grieving with her, I feel like everyone sympathizes in a way, but everyone's still whoa, Wanda, like don't I surrender to your shit, bitch. Like
whatever you
at the same time, please don't hurt me. And she will, because she is. There's an entire town. Was it Westview? Entire town.
Yeah.
It's a rap, fam, for all of them.
Yeah, no, it's all bad. And the crazy part about it was with like in the previous Avengers movies, like, okay, I saw Wanda do her thing. I saw Age of Ultron, you know, when Pietro dies and she like blacks out and destroys everything. So I knew she had, you know, some strength, but
she's still going through
and she's still going through that too. But I wasn't really probably giving her what she should have had until Endgame, when she big stepper, like when she pulled up on Thanos and was like,
I'm about that shit.
You took everything from me.
I'm about this work. So
and you about to get this
catch
work.
These hands.
Like
and
straight up. And she gave him hands. And like of everyone that Thanos had confronted and fought up to that point, nobody had given him. He was scared. Like I went back and watched it the other day. Just
to see what? Oh, it's such a love story. Like, hey, babe. Sorry, my husband just read mid podcast, and it's going to turn into a whole other movie.
It's going to be a real movie.
So, thinking about that, the level of love, it's a love story.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The loss of her brother. Remember, he didn't know. He's just going, I'm chilling.
It's Shakespearean.
It
is. Yeah, buddy.
So, oh my gosh, it's just a love story. That's all it is.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Thanos was ready because of love. I feel like his only downfall was because this small piece of this giant power that is love crumbled that man.
Mm-hmm.
Wanda scared him because he saw the level and lengths that she would go to destroy anyone and anything because of her grief, which is why we're at WandaVision now. And it's almost like, what are the possibilities of anything else that could transpire from all of the other characters? Because there's some shit. I don't even know how we're going to do Black Panther. I cried the other day watching that again. I watched Black Panther and I watched Endgame back to back because, you know, TV was just being
a dick. That's a tough afternoon.
Listen, television was being a dick for the month of August, September, and October of last year. And I did those two back to back and I cried like next level. Like I was like, this shit was next level when I was in the movie theater watching this shit. But now
Facts.
WandaVision setting this bar. There is a bar, people. I need
Yeah,
all the
no, there's a bar. No, there's a
execs
bar.
on deck to understand that this bar that you set. And I'm trying to figure out if there is anyone out there that doesn't really fuck with this shit the way we do and why. I'm so intrigued,
So
but I haven't found you yet.
So
So
here's what it is. I've actually been actively looking for them, right? And I haven't found because I just
where
want
are you?
where
haters?
are you? I need to let me make your case to me because I need to understand.
I
if
feel
you
like
don't
that would make me feel better because then I could kind of take myself out of it and go, yeah, it's actually not that deep. Let me just chill.
let me just
No, it
relax.
fucking is, and there's no one on
It's
this
actually
planet that's not telling me
it's
any
serious.
difference. So
Yeah, no, you can't. No,
we're
you can't.
serious as fuck.
I just have to assume that if you don't rock with this show, then you don't have your soul stone. Like your gauntlet is only like half filled in because, like, bro, like, what do you like? Come on, man.
Right.
Come on,
So
man.
favorite moments thus far, any episode
Oh,
to this point.
favorite moments. Oh, okay, I will say this. So I'll since we're at episode 6, I'll do them 2 episodes at a time.
Okay.
So in episode 1 and 2, in episode 1, my favorite moment, even though it was creepy, was when Mr. Hart starts choking
Oh
and his
yeah.
wife is like, she goes
She's
on like the
cool.
stop
Yeah.
it, stop. And she's like giggling and laughing, but you can kind of see behind her
She's
eyes
in
where it's
pain.
like, she's like,
Oh,
yo,
yeah.
like, please, like, I can't, they making me smile. I don't want to smile. Like,
Yeah.
please help my husband. I was like, oh, this is,
Yeah.
that's the part. It's like, so I watch these in the morning.
Mhm.
1 through 6, I watch in the morning. So this is the first thing I see when I wake up.
Mm.
So it always gets to that part in the episode where it gets super creepy or something like real tense happens.
Right.
And like that was the part that made me sit up in bed like, yo, what is this show? Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
In episode 2, my favorite part of episode 2 is the magic show. Like just the whole magic
Absolutely.
show.
Absolutely.
Like they nailed
Yeah.
everything about, you know, them using their powers to like trick
Yeah.
people into thinking that it's magic in the same way that a magician would have to kind of have a sleight of hand or something to
Right.
make the audience believe what's going on. But it kind of showed them as a real couple who knows one another. Like Wanda didn't miss a beat. Like
At
Vision
all.
did
Like,
something
I
crazy.
got
Like,
you.
oh, I
Right.
got that. There's an app
Right.
for that. Like I got a fake piano, a string, a rope.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Ta-da! Yeah.
like we're not stuck. Like it was just flawless
Yeah.
chemistry, and that almost made it more sad because as much as you
In
like
the
the
moment,
show,
he
in the
realized
moment,
it was never real and it
it's
was
like
being
this is
manipulated.
like this is all
Yeah.
manipulated, and
Yeah.
like you just know you're watching this and you're watching 2 people who have that kind of chemistry, who really rock with one another, who really love one another, and you just know. All I kept telling myself was this show is going to end so badly when she really has to come to the, not that she finds out that it's fake, because she knows it's fake, she's controlling it, but when when it comes to when it really dawns on her that I can't fake it anymore, like all of this
It's
is
going to fucking explode. It is
bad.
So I'm not going to disagree with any of those moments that you mentioned. I feel like we're pretty much on the same page. As many moments as there have been.
I mean, there's a gang of them.
Just the theme songs alone, like the musician in me is going, whoever's doing this shit.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah. I know.
They're about that shit. Yeah. They just know that.
I know this. I know that gives you a deeper appreciation for this show than probably most people who are watching it.
Yeah. So there's that, and all of it for me. Even the last well, not infomercial, the commercial, the yogurt commercial.
Yo magic. Hey, dude.
Dude is dead.
You should eat your. I need to eat your magic
on a desert island, and that great white shark just gets back in the ocean and says, "Go ahead, open it." And he was just sitting there deteriorating
with his fingers twitching.
But it felt like almost like how everybody in that town felt, and the fact that there was that mention of why are there no kids here, why are there no children here, and that poor child on that deserted island in this damn commercial is freaking, I don't know, it made me very concerned about the kids. And then her kids, oh my God, So by the time they decided to speed things up and they're now fully grown and just out here for Halloween for this past episode. And I told you the actor that plays one of them played another kid in my favorite show, The Haunting of Hill.
Yeah.
He plays the young Luke, and he already had my heart when he wore these little spectacles. And I was like, oh my God, this kid, I love him. And I just feel like this isn't going to end well for these kids or something pertaining to the kids. I feel like there's something there that all these parents that have been ripped apart from that.
So that's the
something's
part I
gonna
have some
happen.
real questions about, right?
I don't know.
I
don't feel good about it, regardless.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Whatever I'm thinking is happening, I just don't have a good feeling about it.
I don't think you can feel good about anything in it. Like this show is basically like trauma porn, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
This is like we're
I'm
all
like,
enjoying.
give me more. Oh my God.
Yeah, give me some more pain. I want some more
Yeah.
pain. Like give me more pain. And now I
Jesus.
see it, love it.
Ugh.
But so here's the thing I'm trying to figure out with the kids, right? In the first like 1 through 4 episodes, you know, is this real? Is this not real? What is the situation here? Is Vision real? Are the kids real? What's exactly happening here?
Mhm.
So we've seen instances like where Monica gets kicked out, or where they send in the agent and he gets separated from his cord. The cord comes out. Now it's a jump rope.
Right.
It's out. It's out in the real world, right? So things that happened inside the hex can come out. They're going to be different, but you can come out. So now I'm thinking to myself, like, do these kids make it through? And because I mean, they don't have to do what the comic books do, but in the comic book, she actually has these kids. These kids are actually like real parts of the Marvel universe, Wiccan and Speed. So now I'm trying to decide, like, do the kids make it out? Do the kids not make it out? Does Wanda and the kids make it out, but Vision doesn't make it out? Is that good enough for Wanda to be satisfied? If she loses Vision but has the kids, is they're gonna be like tripping?
Yeah, but there's so many gray areas in between what my fictitious logic in the Avenging universe even would go to. I'm like, if it exists in the hex, it can exist. It just can. It's a rule. She's made the rule. So now you're able to go in and come back out. It's not like The Fly and you're in one cubicle and it's, don't let a friggin' fly cross on you at the same time and then
Go
you're
over
back.
there.
Oh, The Fly 2 is really gross. When that thing opens, sorry.
That's a gross.
But that theory doesn't apply to this. Because you went in, you came out. It's not like you came out and it's friggin' poltergeist and you've got the gray streak in your hair and you were, somehow altered. Well, in a way,
it applies to
altered. It
seems
does
to apply to everybody except Vision. Because in episode 6,
but at the end of the day,
out.
Vision is the only one that was dead. That
was
actually dead.
Right.
Prior to being in that space. So it's, if I'm evil Avenger thinking, what Thanos at?
Where you at? Where you at, bro? What do you?
Because everybody disappeared and came back. Where you at? And if I'm evil enough, and my grief is strong, and I'm like, I want to rule this shit, and she's managed to get these powers that can reincarnate or reanimate existing people in one space, I go there. And it can only go from that parameter to that parameter. Oh, stretch it out, fam. Remember what you did? Make a circus, make another circus, make a theme park, make Disney World. Go for it. If we're going there. So that theory to actually be, it's a rule. She's made a rule. So you can't just go, oh, Wanda, that's enough. And she goes, twitch of the nose, bewitched, and everything's back to normal.
And it's some more.
She still has that ability. So if you're evil enough,
Well, I mean, you've
Kidnapping.
touched.
It's kidnapping. Taking
It's
action
definitely
on.
kidnapping, but you've
Um,
touched on a lot of things that are floating around as far as theories for not just this show, but like where it goes for the rest of the MCU, right? So
yeah.
in Spider-Man: Far From Home, at the end, we
Mm-hmm.
see all of these posters, missing children,
Right.
missing children, missing children. Now, Spider-Man takes
And
place in New York City, which
right.
isn't that far from New Jersey.
Right.
So the question is like, how far does she take it? Even if in this episode it's still in New Jersey, are we going
Mm.
to get to another episode? By episode 9, will she have stretched it again because of some other situation? Now,
Right.
this is taking over the whole tri-state area. Now it's taking over
Mm.
the whole East Coast. Now it's taking over, like this hex is taking people
Mm.
in. Can't
Wonder,
everyone is going to be.
wonder, wonder.
She's made a real mess of this thing, and I have no idea how she's getting out of it.
Yeah, and we've got until Friday to kind of, what do you say? It's going to be an hour episode to break it into
I think we're gonna,
increments.
yeah. The rumor going around. I don't even know if I want to call it a rumor because like both Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel Studios,
Mm-hmm.
and Elizabeth Olsen in various interviews have said that WandaVision is like a 6-hour movie. That's a quote
Mm-hmm.
from directly from them. So at this point,
Right.
we've had 6 episodes, 3 hour 30 minutes apiece. So we've seen 3 hours. There's three
Mm-hmm.
episodes left, which the math just says, okay, we get an hour each.
Right.
I don't know if they'll chop it to different lengths and have it so that the last one is an hour 15 or whatever the case is. But
Right.
I think we're getting longer episodes from Friday on.
I'm just thinking, regardless, that please stand by at the end, I think is
It's,
everybody's
it's the
anxiety.
bane of everybody's
Oh,
existence. Like, please
why?
stand by. You want me to
Don't
stand
like
by after what you
I
just showed me?
can't. So I
You
don't.
want me to
I
stand
did
by?
say however long these episodes are, I just need answers, and the
Yeah.
cliffhangers of each episode. Or it's not even a cliffhanger. It's just it went from a lot of what the fuck is happening.
Yeah, no, what the fuck is happening is like the
What's
general
what's happening? And then once you peep what's happening, you're like, I need more. No, I need to know much more.
much more because I have so
Oh
many
shit! A
questions.
fucking week from now is when
Yeah,
I
I gotta
get
wait.
like. So
I've never, I mean, listen, there's a lot of TV shows that I've watched from the beginning, top to
mhm.
bottom, each week, whatever. And I've always been excited. When Breaking Bad was going, I was excited
Right,
for the next episode. They got me. Like I've never
yeah,
been this anxious for like hurry up and give me the next one because there's too
right.
much at stake and I need to know what's going on right now because
I think it's also during this pandemic, I feel like it's been rare where people have had this community again. Yeah, we've had social media
right.
prior to this, but now we all really have invested time to really dissect and get into some shit. And WandaVision, amongst many others, and now being our current fave, is just one of those ones where we need people. We need
Yeah.
hugs and
Yeah.
attention about what we think is going on or where this goes from here. It's dope as fuck to be this grown and really believe all this shit.
And believe everything.
Believe all this
Like
shit.
believe it all. Like
I'm grieving with Wanda, okay?
like
I'm grieving with her. Like
feeling
I
a
was,
real type of
I
way.
feel you, fam. I was there.
Yeah.
I was there. I was there.
It's crazy. Well, plus like there's not many shows also where we have, I mean, not a whole 20 years, but we have like years of a relationship at this point. So this is like a
Right.
new show that's coming on where you're just meeting all the characters for the first time.
Right,
We
right, right,
know
right.
exactly what y'all have been
Who's
through.
right?
We know exactly what's at play right now. And now y'all are in this space trying to figure
Yeah.
out what's going on.
And
It's
that's just some dope writing. That's just
oh no,
dope
yeah.
to just
Big shout out
yeah,
to the writers who put
like
this one
just
together. Like,
yeah, because
I think the
get
woman's name is
get
Jack
in your
Schaefer.
bag. Yeah, get
Yeah,
in your
yeah,
bag.
she's
Like
in her
no
bag.
holds barred.
Yeah.
Just fucking go there. Because why the fuck not?
Well, the
Why
one thing I say
not?
about Marvel is that like even if there hasn't been many Marvel movies or properties where they made you be patient, right? And like, even
Oh,
though
yeah,
we're both sitting here complaining about like 30-minute shows,
right.
everyone else is. I feel like this show doesn't work. At least these first 6 episodes, it doesn't work if every episode is an hour. Like, I think 30 minutes gives you
It's
enough to
enough.
be like,
I
I
couldn't
want some
handle
more,
this
and
for an
be like,
hour.
yeah, like an hour of pain. Like,
No.
you can't do an hour of pain.
No. It's
But 30 minutes is
perfectly
just enough.
spaced. Yeah. And I
It's just
don't
enough
want
for it to hurt.
I don't want the execs to feel pressured because we're like, oh, we need more. Like, no, just make more episodes.
Oh,
Don't
yeah,
make
no.
them longer. Don't change what is my heartache from beginning to end of 30 minutes of emotional trauma.
Listen,
and then extend it. No thanks.
I'll
You
tell you
give
right
me
now,
just more episodes. I'll be cool with that.
them people don't give a damn about what we think.
I
Kevin
know.
Feige and the people at Marvel, that he has an idea, and at this point, I
Yeah.
trust him. Like,
Yeah, like it's working so far. We are on. We
everything is
decided what 2-3 days ago that we couldn't do this by our fucking selves.
working. Right.
Created a whole social media
Mhm.
shit for ourselves and was like, you know what? We're just going to talk about it.
We're just going to talk about this. in
This
public
and many
forum.
other things in public forum because we know there's more like us that are just like.
Oh,
it.
they're out there.
You know, you are. You're out there somewhere. Like you
And
are.
if we build it, they will come.
They will come. Shit.
That's just how it goes.
Ugh.
So yeah,
What we gonna do?
here we are on the precipice of glory and heartbreak.
I keep looking at my watch like it's gonna speed up to Friday,
it's a
and
Friday,
it's
yeah.
not. It's not Friday, and I'm just
No,
thinking
we
about
gotta-
all the things that we may find out, or we may not. I
Yeah.
feel like what would be fucking heartbreaking is if it literally ends on please stand by. Like whatever happens prior to that, or whatever
yeah.
we think, if that shit just ends on please stand. Oh, the nauseous. Nauseous. No.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hold you. I thought about that same thing the other, and I feel like the end of episode 9.
Oh no.
Something tragic is gonna happen. They're gonna give us like a little piece of resolve, and we're gonna be tiny piece of resolve, just to
tragedy.
Yeah, tragedy, a little resolve, and then it's gonna
Please
be
stand
like,
by.
Please stand by.
And
Like,
we've got to wait for the next Marvel, whatever's coming
Well,
after that,
so-
which will probably coexist with what just happened, but we'd still have to wait.
well, that's how
I
this
hate
is set
it.
up.
I
Kevin
hate
Feige
it.
has said that this show, so the storyline of what's going on in WandaVision carries WandaVision, Spider-Man 3, Doctor Strange 2. So those 3 pieces are what is linking everything together. Now we don't know what's going to happen in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, the theories are just running through my mind.
But here we go, right? So here's my theory. Here's where I'm at with how these things go together with that context of Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. So whatever happens at the end of this show, I think that this Hex thing goes way beyond what Wanda can control at this point. I mean, she couldn't even control the people at the edge of town in the last episode. So now as you push it even further, you have no control over what's happening in the rest of the world. You're just in your little pocket and whoever's around you.
Right.
So I think she's going to push it too far. Some of those kids that we saw in Spider-Man Homecoming, Far From Home, who are missing, I think are probably missing because of Wanda.
Yeah.
And I think that by the time we get to Doctor Strange 2, it's going to be like the Sorcerer Supreme has to come and like set the universe back in some kind of order because Wanda has twisted everything. Everything is twisted now, and we don't have someone has to come make this thing right again. We'll see.
Yeah. But then it's like Wanda has those powers, right? Other people have powers. So other people, just as I believe truly that you're able to create your own heaven, everyone be able to make their own hex though. Their own version of it. Hers is, you know what I mean? So it's all of these dimensions, which I'm sparking that thought because of Far From Home, Spider-Man, and how many layers of dimensions there were. Right. And we're talking about missing children in that particular hex, but it might be in someone else's. somewhere else.
Somewhere else, yeah. I mean, they've already said
That's-
like Jamie Foxx and these other villains from the previous Spider-Man are already coming back in some capacity. We don't know what capacity
because
that
there's
would be,
dimensions
but
on dimensions on there's
yeah, that's what
layers
I'm
to
saying.
this
Like,
shit.
right. And the Doctor Strange movie is
Oh
called The Multiverse
man.
of Madness.
Oh, the multiverse.
Yeah. So like,
And Wanda is the madness because
and
she's
she's
taken, like
the
you said, it's
madness,
just
right?
taken it too far.
Yeah.
You've extended this grief that has taken over other people. You've got children missing now. And
Yeah,
I
now
feel
you've
like
done it to
her
kids.
only soft spot will be because she's had her own kids, technically.
Right.
That's her sore spot now. Because they're, as much as Vision is real there, she knows he's gone.
Yeah, she knows
She knows.
You took his body and
Those
made her.
children, though,
You're actually here.
I feel like she'll come to the realization that no, they're actually here, and I have to be there for them. And now they've got thoughts of their own and feelings as to why and how everything came about and what's up with dad and oh shit. You know what I mean? Her oh shit moment is I've lost fucking control of this whole thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's just gonna end on please stand by.
Well, look, at the last episode, her and Pietro had an interesting conversation about her state of mind. Right? I don't trust Pietro. I don't think that's actually her brother. I think that's the feds. That's the ops.
Listen,
that's
it
COINTELPRO.
is a mole.
That is, yeah, he's a mole of some kind. Yeah, I
mole.
don't trust that dude. But the conversation he had with her, first off, he said, you've considered the ethical responsibilities of this thing pretty good. Like, you're trying not to harm the kids. You've given people, what you would consider a better life. They don't have to worry about anything. Everyone can live in here. And he says to her, you were always the empathetic twin. So it just makes me wonder.
So you think this entire way that she's constructed this situation was planted?
I think there's something else.
She's being because she has the powers to do this, but she's still a puppet.
For sure. For sure. There's
so who's in control? Who's Geppetto then?
So here's the theories, right?
Okay.
One of the theories is that there's a character.
Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert! You haven't.
Okay, go.
So there's a character named Mephisto who is basically Satan, the devil in the Marvel comic books of the universe. There's a theory that, and Mephisto, his thing is like, tragedy and grief are like the things that power him.
That's the fuel.
That's the fuel that you need. There's another character named Nightmare who has a similar thing, right? Where it's like, I need your pain to keep me up. So the theory is that Wanda has a certain level of autonomy to control this space and to do things. And we already saw her freeze everybody.
Right.
So she has some control here. But I feel like there's something pushing her
to do that,
to do this thing. Because if not, if it's all just her, then she shouldn't be surprised when her brother shows up. She should have expected her
exactly, and that was the thing. It was, oh, hello.
Yeah, like, oh,
fuck is you doing here?
Yeah,
You're not him. And if I were to do this, it definitely wouldn't be you. But
it wouldn't be you. It wouldn't be this form of you, right?
So the bigger picture is then, is she aware that she's being controlled, but she's been given this power to live this life with Vision that she doesn't even care about that part? It's like, I don't give a fuck what y'all doing. I just know that I get to be here. You know what I mean?
I think that's kind of where she's at. I don't think she realizes yet that she's a pawn in this thing. In a bigger thing. Because she even told Vision in episode 5 when they were arguing. And he finally sat her down and was like, "This is wrong." That was crazy.
Yeah. Sad. You know, it was all right. I'll add to the craziness of it is the theme song ended. The incidental music was still going, and I know that was intentional because you guys are genius.
Yeah.
And they were still arguing. That was
so.
I feel like that was my favorite moment. That might have been my favorite moment.
That's definitely in my top 3, and it's probably 1 or 2.
One or two, yeah.
Because the whole attitude was
It
like
was real. It
Vision was like,
switched.
yo, listen, I know what's going on. I talked to Norm. I know that you on some BS.
Yeah.
And you can't control me the way you control these people. She looked at him
Right.
like, word, I can't.
Right. And it
Roll
was
the
like,
credits on your ass.
right.
Watch your mouth.
Watch
roll
your
the
mouth.
roll the credits on your ass. Like
This shit.
and I was like, yo.
Yeah.
And they had a classic. That was a classic white people fight. Like if you watch white people movies, there's
Right.
always like a classic white people.
Shut up, Brad.
Shut up. Like,
yeah, it was definitely, yeah.
It
was stereotypical.
Blue Valentine?
Yes, it was exactly that.
It was one of those like harsh, like I'm gonna say mean things to you, and we're gonna really have it
fuck
out
you
here.
and the mother you came from.
You come,
shit.
yeah, we're going all the way. I'm gonna
Yeah.
talk crazy about your family. Like we're gonna have this out.
Yeah.
But he tells her like, yo, this is wrong, and she says, I don't even know how this started in the first place. I
feel like she was honest.
I think it was honest.
Moment.
Yeah, no, I believe her. In that moment, I totally believe her. I think
Right.
I think she basically did what anybody would do if we found a bag full of money.
Mm-hmm.
We would grab the bag full of money and be like, I don't know whose bag full of money this is, but it's right here. Ain't nobody here.
And if that shit was 10 billion, you don't know when you put the dent in it.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You just knew when you got the money, and you're like, no one knows, and this is mine. This is my power. I don't even know how many Lamborghinis is outside. Lamborghinis. Why are the Lamborghinis? Something expensive. You know what I'm saying? So,
but for her Lambo is the kids. Her Lambo is having Vision back. Her Lambo is having a happy life with no stress, with no grief, with no people dying.
Right. So back to this Geppetto though, because the intention may have always been to either reincarnate Vision in a way that they could manipulate that particular hex, that particular bubble, and regenerate that power.
Yeah.
Ultimately being the Mind Stone that he is built off of.
That's the part. I think
so. That's it. Because my whole thing is you can't have both. You can't be there and exist and not have the components to be able to. He's not a ghost.
No, he's not. He's actually there.
Or
so
is he?
What I think is,
I don't know. Please stand by.
Please.
I'm just going back to in my life. I'm using please stand by.
Please stand by is going to be what it is.
Please stand by. For now on, forever. Please stand by.
Well, here's what it is, though. Right? I think this sword, when they were chopping Vision, I think they were trying to figure out how to either make Vision into a weapon or how to get some of that Mind Stone energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wanda steals Vision, creates a Mind Stone. The one thing we didn't see is when Vision came out of the hex and he was deteriorating. We don't know, because he got saved, we don't know if, let's say his whole body would have got ripped away. He would have just been
would it just fall apart to just the Mind Stone?
Would it just be the Mind Stone that drops out
outside of the hex?
Outside of the hex. Mm-hmm. So would that be the case, or is it everything gets destroyed? Like, and does Wanda even know that she has inadvertently created a Mind Stone? Does she think that he's just, I just built him back up and I don't think it's real? Or does she not know that it's real?
Wanda does not. Wanda gives zero fucks about a Mind fucking stone. Fuck the Mind Stone. She cares about Vision. Vision and Vision only. So I would just hate that she'd have to watch her world that she's built to be her comfort, her protection, and her peace fall apart all over again. And I feel like the bigger picture and the why of it all is gonna turn her again. She's straight villain after this, because I feel like there's no peace out of this.
No, you're a criminal now.
Yeah, she's not only a criminal, you're a whole criminal, but you're not on the side of good because you was willing to sacrifice the other agenda. Selfish. And you're selfish. I'm pretty sure it is an evil agenda as to why this whole shit is going on in the first place. But you're on the bad side. You're on the dark side now.
You let the grief turn you into the other side.
You're not with the Rebel Alliance, man.
No, that's what I say. You're basically Anakin.
You rolled, fam.
And what's crazy about it is,
And it's not your fault. And it's just so many of the parallels. Like it's good versus evil. It's just fucking Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's fam. You just chose the wrong side of things because of your selfish reasons. Like you just did. Like
you let the grief put past everything. But here's another level of grief I want to put on top of Wanda.
Together. Oh, see, just
it might. What if we get into a situation where Wanda has already seen Vision die twice? She had to kill him, then she had to watch Thanos reverse it, and then watch Thanos kill him. Now, at this point, Vision has kind of figured out what's going on, and he's telling her this is wrong. So, are we going to get to a point where Vision, because Vision isn't like, clearly he is like the moral upstanding part of, he wants to help people. He almost killed himself trying to go outside,
trying to help,
tell them like, yo, these people need help. So is she gonna have to kill? Is she gonna have to kill Vision again herself? Like, is that gonna be what breaks her when she realizes not only can I not have this, I have to put an end to him because he's not gonna let me do this.
However, because she loves him, I don't feel like she could hurt him. However, I do feel like Vision and the power and understanding that he has now that he's in this hex and he exists because of it, his powers grow. And he fucks up some shit.
Yeah.
It's like that. I feel, once again, go into this end game. If I'm thinking the long game, and my whole point was to build up Vision so I could get the Mind Stone power, when he's already acknowledged that what Wanda is doing to him is wrong. She just wants to be with him. Oh, but you chose this Geppetto to do this to us so they could manipulate me. Right. Oh, that's not going to happen. Guess what I'm going to do now? I'm fucking everybody.
Everything, right.
And ultimately, at the end of that, she possibly will have to lose him again. He may take the freaking silver blade and slice himself.
And dead himself. Yeah, because it's like
this is not gonna happen because I'm not supposed to be here. And the only reason why he is because she's fucking selfish.
Because she spazzed out and made this, and it's like, I think he's on.
I'm sorry, Wanda. I don't mean to speak so ill of you.
Hey, bro,
At the same time, I understand your whys. Trust me, I understand your whys, babes.
But Vision's in a bad spot though, because clearly Sword wants him to like dissect him or make him a weapon or whatever they want him for. And this Geppetto probably wants him too to stay in there to keep Wanda in check. So it's like he's squeezed on both sides, and the only thing he can do to make it okay, because if not, if Vision doesn't make it okay, then at some point he's gonna say, okay, I know you're doing all this is wrong, but I'd rather be in here with you than outside there with those people. He's gonna have to basically go to Wanda's side and be on the other side of the situation.
I still feel like his intelligence is enough to go, Wanda, I died. You now have to live without me. If then in turn the kids are real, you have to be there for our children and wait this the fuck out. You're gonna have to live. And I'll see you on the other side. See you on the other side. Listen here, fam.
It's going to be tears across America.
I know.
If that man sits her down and says,
mine included. Please
this is what it is. Please stand by.
Please stand by. Listen.
It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be real bad if he has to off himself and be like, yo, listen, you just have to, like you said, you got to eat this now. We got these kids.
Because all it's going to be, to me, all it turns into is them fucking military tents that are built outside of this force field. And they've gone, that plan didn't work. Let's try some other shit. And then you go to a whole other dimension where Doctor Strange and them are over here battling whoever the fuck ever. And they're trying to build some other shit. There's so many ways for evil to go, she didn't fall for that. He didn't fall for that. Glad they had their little time. And roll the fuck out and go over there then.
Right.
It's fucked up, you evil fucks, whoever you are.
whoever you are.
God.
Who terrorize
it's right. How could you do this to these people?
It's going to be bad. It's going to be really bad. But the long and the short of it is that as bad as it's going to be, they have us. The people have us to come here every week, and we're gonna sit down and we're gonna talk this thing out. They can come, they can pull, oh, they can open the door, they can enter the glass case of emotion, and put their feet up. Hey,
You gotta go with the slow, smooth, like undertone.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we're here and we're in this together, and I love that we're this grown and invested in our
Yes,
theories and our Marvel comic fantasies. As
entire
you know,
nerddom,
I'm going from
entire
our
geekdom.
generation to our parents' generation. Like my dad was an avid comic collector and is well aware of all of this shit. Will probably tell me what's going to happen because he had
Because
comic
he's
book
read
issue number
everything.
2 of whatever. And I'm like, oh, why the fuck didn't you say anything?
What?
I didn't know they were going to make the movie.
Sorry.
And I feel like that's what's so beautiful about how they chose the nostalgia in episode 1
Right.
is for my dad or for my mum that read these
Mhm.
comics that are so into this shit that they're going, oh, this story's been written. These kids,
Right.
they'll never know.
Yeah.
I love that.
No,
That's
it's
so
smart.
good.
It's smart because I mean, listen, I've gone to see pretty much every Marvel movie in the theater, right?
Same.
And most of the time it is the general same types of people. Like even if they're older people there, they're older people who you know are like super comic book heads and
Right.
all that kind of thing. But I feel like the way they did this show, even if you're not a comic book person, I feel like those first 2 episodes, you might could just sit down and be like, okay, I didn't read these comic books. I'm
Right.
68 years old. I'm 70
Right.
years old. But everyone's talking about this thing. It's on Disney Plus. We can't go anywhere. Let me just watch it. And they can get something,
And
like
they're
you said,
into it,
they're
just
into
into
it.
it. Like my dad thinking about it and the conversations that we have about any of this type of stuff is he never thought he'd live to see the day where he could see on screen what he was turning pages on. Like,
Fully
oh, then this
realized version.
fully
Yeah.
CGI and all of its
Mhm.
gloriousness. And if you're going to go Rick Baker effects and it looks like it could absolutely walk through the door and fuck you up. Like, that good. So he's like, we're living in a time where all of this shit is fucking real now, you know?
It's
So
actual
it's,
thing.
whoever this Geppetto is, man, you bitch,
Yeah,
you're
yeah, no, I'm
really,
telling you, no,
really horrible. You've done a
yeah.
horrible, horrible thing to good people, or not even good people that ultimately wonder. We knew what side you was on the first time, but then you manned up
You came
still.
around. You
You
came
did what you
around.
needed to do, and
Yeah.
now I feel like someone manipulated you
They
into
took no,
going back to
someone
your
took
old
advantage of you.
ways.
Yeah,
They
someone took
did,
advantage
and
of
I
you.
hope you see that, babes.
But that's
Really
the story of her
do.
life, right? It would be a full circle moment. Like the
It
way she got her
would.
powers in the first place was because Hydra and Von Strucker manipulated her. They did those tests on her. They gave her these powers. She was
Mm.
basically a lab rat, and she get like being taken advantage of is pretty much all she knows in life. It's just being taken advantage of and
So
being
she
done
feels like I'd let you do all of that if I got what I needed to get
what
out
I
of
wanted
it.
to get out of it, right? Yeah, but I don't have that now. So now, like
Mm.
everybody got.
And now she's gonna feel like Vision is turning on her because he's aware, he's
Oh yeah, he's aware.
coherent.
Yeah,
He knows now. So it's different. Before where she could be like, oh, I'm waking up and going to sleep with my man. It's no, he knows that none of this is
and she can't do
it's
anything about it because she
yeah, we
wants the
can't go
love.
back. Yeah.
But she wants the love. You can't have love if you're making someone do it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like she doesn't want like a robotic type of like, oh, I just love you
Right.
because you made me love you. She wants him to
Oh,
have
how is this gonna end, y'all? I've got a
some
bit of a
level of
headache.
autonomy. It's
Stressed
gonna be
out.
bad. It's gonna be
Oh,
real bad.
stressed out.
I still have not figured out
I
how
need
where the bad is gonna
oils
come.
and a massage. Babe,
Come
get
rub
in
my
here.
feet. Rub my feet and make me feel better about
Oh,
this
you know,
fake
he's been under
show.
this desk the entire time.
The whole time, making me feel better,
Making me feel
making me feel good.
I can't. So yeah, we'll get into our reactions for Friday and share with you all what the
Yes, we'll
fuck
be
is
back.
about to go on and talk about some shit.
Yeah, we will be back. In the meantime, you can follow us on Twitter at
Mhm.
Glass Case Pod, at Glass Case Pod on Twitter. At patreon.com glass case crew for you want to sign up to Patreon, you want to log on, you want to drop a couple dollars on this holla, you can sign up on Patreon. You can find me on Twitter at Hip Hop Obama. You can find
you are the Hip Hop Obama.
I am the Hip Hop Obama, the Hip Hop Obama.
Mm-hmm.
You can find Marsha on Twitter if you want to.
Oh yeah, I'm on there on Marsha Ambrosius. That's me on there. Instagram, Facebook, wherever. We're just here. Wherever. We're here. We're with the shits. We're with it.
If you just need like a quick little boost of therapy, like I got 280 characters of therapy for you on Twitter. If you need to hit us up, you need to just get your thoughts off. You need to.
Or sometimes I tweet like 4 words and 10,000 people.
And then they just goes
just
crazy.
Go with it. Just lose their minds.
Just let it happen, bro. Just let it happen. So, yeah, so we appreciate y'all checking in. We appreciate y'all pulling up, man. This is the Glass Case Podcast. Glass Case of Emotion Podcast. And we'll be back for episode 7. We don't know. Maybe we'll do like a contest to see like if whoever's listening or watching, maybe we can get like a contest going for you. You can count the amount of tears that Marsh cries during episode 7. Then maybe we'll come up with some kind of like prize for you or something.
Or if you've watched this entire episode, give me the most obscure movie reference that we used to describe everything that we said.
I like that.
We said we threw in a lot of shit.
We threw in a couple of things.
So I want to see the like-minded people out there say, "Oh, when you said, and whichever's the best one, there you are."
I like that. I like a challenge.
Yeah. With that.
All right. So we'll see y'all next week. We'll be back with more laughs, cries, and sighs from WandaVision and everything else going forward. We appreciate y'all. Peace.
Okay, I feel like what we should do is do the faces that we're probably gonna make when we see episode 7.
We see episodes.
In 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that's it. That's gonna be me.
That's it.